Hi everybody, hope you're having a good Sunday. We are doing frames as usual, and I would like to talk about again the national frames and what are my plans in terms of the future to be able to assemble thousands of frames but in an easier way. As you all know, the frame that we use, it's this type of frame that you have two bars on the bottom and you have this piece of wood on the top that you take off, and then you insert the foundation. So putting the foundation in, right, so you just insert on the bottom, put it on the top, right, you put your piece of wood, okay, and you nail it on the top. Okay, so that's one way to do it, but I would like this to be easier for me. So I have this frame that I'm going to show you now, which is a Langstroth frame, and it can be produced, and I've seen it here in the UK, but lately I haven't found a supplier with the type of frame that I want. So it's the same frame. Of course, this is a Langstroth, so the ends will be different, as we all know, but the difference is you just have the groove on the top, normal groove, and the bottom bar is slightly different. Okay, so you have also a groove, okay, and you can see on the end, on the side of the sidebars, they are slightly different. So you have this solid piece of wood that you just nail on the top. This would make it much easier to assemble, especially when we use those boxes that we can put the sides, and then you put all the frames on the top and then turn upside down and you can nail the bottom bars. So much easier than having to put those two little strips, and of course stronger. But the big advantage that I see for me, that I like to use plastic foundation, is when you put the plastic foundation in. That's what the big difference is. So you don't have to nail on the top, okay? So you have a piece of foundation, you just, try to show it this way, you just slide it in on the bottom, okay? Push it in on the top, see if I can see, on the foundation, it's in. So you just push it in. There is no nails. So this is a very easy job, especially if you like to use plastic foundation, of course. I'm still undecided whether I'm going to, in the future, produce the whole unit as a plastic frame for nationals. I'm tempted to, but I'm still waiting a while longer, because I do like the wood frame. It's solid, and the foundation in plastic, it's a perfect solution for my particular case. You know, if you need 10,000 frames a year, something of that sort, then this would make it so easy. So, you know, just sliding in the foundation like I'm doing here with this Langstroth frame would make it much easier to every winter to assemble the frames. You can still wax the plastic foundation before you put it in. We always do that way anyway with the links, even with the nationals that we have now. We wax the foundation, let it cool down, and then introduce. So that's one of the products I'm planning to sort out next couple of weeks, see if I can find a supplier that will do this for me. I'm still gonna get maybe some more frames from my supplier. Is I think working on it now, so that the sides will not have the groove. Okay, that groove that is here on the side. So I'm supposed to have the next palette of frames with the sides completely solid, which makes my life easier, because when you are centering the staple on the top, you have more wood, so you don't have to worry so much to center the staple. So it's much easier, much faster to do. So my next step will be this, but I'm going to work on the change of this frame, so it will still be national, but only with one groove on the top and the bottom bar, like I explained, the same type as we have on the Langstroth. Another thing I'm still also undecided what I'm going to do. We need to get about 500 feeders this year, and I'm undecided from the Miller feeders that I can get from Anel or from Nicot. They are very good feeders, but they are not the size of the polyhives that we have. So they will have 50 centimeters long, which is good, but on the width they are for Langstroth, so they don't have also 50 centimeters on the width, so we all have to put a bit of wood on the sides. So one of them, which is the could be the Nicot one, I could have bought that. I almost bought that end of the year, but then we went to restrictions of traveling, and then I did not go to France and pick it up. But also have been tempting to do as they use in the US and Canada, which is the contact feeders on the roofs. So Anel has now this piece of equipment I can show you. So you can make a hole on the center of your roof. Okay, you can have insulation, because you can have about, I would say, maybe 2 centimeters, so 20 mils of insulation under your roof, because this is long. So you have a center hole, and from the outside you put it on the top. Okay, and it goes through the insulation or even a crown board, and the bees can then go up the crown board into the roof and have a bucket, those contact of syrup, one of those contact feeders that you see in use a lot in US. So it's very simple, and the advantage of this one is that, I'm not sure if you can see this, but it has a system that you can open, right? Not sure if you can see this now. So you see all the little holes are open, so the bees can go through there to the feeder, and they have access to the feed. Let's say you're not using the feeder and you still want ventilation in the summer, you just close it, so you still have ventilation, but the bees cannot go out, or wasps or anything cannot go in, right? And in the winter, the only thing you have to do is just put the plug on top, and that's it. Job is done. It is secured, as you can see. It has 4 holes. So if you have zinc roofs, or even wooden roofs, but with zinc, you can use rivets, probably on the 4 corners. These are rivets, and it will be secure to the zinc sheet, or you can use screws. So there's different options. If I go this way with this method, I will use rivets, simple, and it will keep this secure. So you just open your tap, turn it out. If it is hot in the summer, you want a bit of extra ventilation, just leave it like that. If you're going to feed, you just turn it, open it, the system, and the bees can come up to the feeder. So I'm very I'm very tempted to use this as a feeding system, because that way the only thing I have to do is just feed the bees with contact feeders. You open there's like a little tap on the feeders, and you just fill up with the I'm going to use a gun, because I have already an IBC with a petrol pump, and I'm going to also have an electric pump, so if I don't want to use the petrol one. So, and with the hose, with a gun, we just fill them up. The only thing I have to work on is that is, as you've seen some of these videos from the US, Ian Stapler and Bob, can't remember his last name now. They have these how do you say, lids for the buckets, that on you have the hole where the sugar comes out, right? But then on the other side, on the still on the lid, but you have another hole that you can just open it and fill up the feeder. So it's very, very practical, very fast, and you don't need to take the lids off. So that's the only thing I have to try to work out this week, if I can get some samples and get some buckets here in the UK, see if we can use those lids on the buckets that I would buy here in the UK, and that way I will have a system. So you just fill up the bucket, put on top of the zinc roof. The bees have access. You have always a brick. Just put a brick on top of your feeder, so when it's empty, the wind will not blow it away, and then you have your problem solved. Another thing about this as well is, if I've seen a few videos on the and the other thing I can say about it is that once it is on the top, the this bit here stays about, I would say, is about 4 to 5 millimeters above the zinc roof. So if you have water, let's say it will be raining, the water that is on the surface of the zinc roof, it will not go inside of the hive. The only situation that will happen is, of course, you have very strong winds and it will blow away your contact feeder, and then yes, you will have the hole exposed. But that doesn't happen very often, and if that will happen, of course, we go to the apiaries and we check them anyway. So that's only on extreme cases. So your bucket is there, and even empty, if you have a brick on top, I don't think it's going to be very easy for the wind to blow it. Anyway, so this is two of the products, of the ideas that I'm having. Spring is almost around the corner, so we're not too far away. We have 2 months. So yeah, end of March probably start feeding liquid, so we have to hurry up with these decisions. That's something that is worrying me. I was very still a bit undecided between these contact feeders and the Miller feeders. It's not a question of price at all. It's because when you buy the plastic feeder and you get this piece of equipment to put on the top, all these little things count. They add up, and so it's not a very big difference, I would say. Still a difference, but it's all about time, all about time. Being able to get to an apiary and fill up 40 or 50 5-liter contact feeders very early morning or late in the afternoon, and just carry on. It has to be a bit faster as we increase the numbers of nukes and hives. The way to go is get the machines. Some of them that probably will not need them yet, but we have to think of the future and then to be a bit more efficient and have time for other things. Okay guys, so thank you for watching. Have a nice weekend.